guys, it's Kristen with Simply a Stewart, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here and finding us just because you're searching for Disney stuff, welcome. I'm so glad to have you guys here. So you guys have been seeing some things pop up on my channel of some Disney videos. I wasn't going to disclose exactly when I left, and so I tried to keep everything until after I came home, and so they'll probably go up probably one right after the other. But anyways, I wanted to share with you guys, now that we are home and settled, what we got while we were gone as far as souvenirs go. So the first thing I'm going to show you is just these couple things that I have set off to the side because my kids are dying to have them back. They were the few things that I let them take when we got home to play with because they could not wait to get them. And the first thing are these cute little diaries. And on the side, they just say, I don't know if you can see that, live your dreams. And they just have all the princesses on them. I have a just turned 8 and 10-year-old girl, and they both chose to get these. Obviously, you can see the locks are on them, and Mommy does not have the keys. So so I can't open them to show you what the insides look like because they've already begun writing in them. But they did get these. They wanted them for their own personal use, so they went ahead and picked those up. I am going to disclose the fact that I do have 4 kids. If you're new here, I have a almost 4 and an almost 6-year-old and a just turned 8 and 10-year-old. We are kind of all of our birthdays smashed at the beginning of the year. And so they each bought all of their own things. So you will see quite a few kid items here. I did not spend a penny on any of them. They were gifted both for Christmas and their birthdays because their birthdays are at the beginning of the year. Money and gift cards towards their Disney souvenirs that I placed on one gift card for each of them. If you did not see in my What's in My Purse video for Disney parks, I do have a separate gift card for each of them with their favorite character on it, and I put all of the money, I compile all the money onto that gift card and allow them to spend it since it was gifted to them for the holidays or for their birthday just for that purpose. So they bought all of their own things. So while you will see quite a few children's items, I did not purchase any of them. I'm not spoiling my children. I promise you I did not buy one thing for any of them. So my son got this little set, and it was all boxed up nicely, but he decided he wanted to play with it as soon as he got home. And it is Indiana Jones. This was the first time we got these at Hollywood Studios. It's the first time we've seen the Indiana Jones show, which is amazing. If you haven't seen it yet and you're going to Disney, you should absolutely put it on your list of things to see. We did not need a fast pass or anything for it. We got in to see it when we planned to. So, but it was just this cute little set. It was an action figurine, and he has a hat. And he got it at the little kiosk, I believe, that was right outside. They have like a wagon when you exit the Hollywood Studios, or I'm sorry, the Indiana Jones show, and it's right there. So it's back towards like the Frozen show or the ABC commissary, back in that area. So if you guys are interested in that is where you find it. I didn't see that anywhere else, unlike the diaries, which we found at most of the Disney stores, including Disney Springs. So that was widely spread available. Indiana Jones was not. So if that's something that you're looking for, you're going to want to make a trip specifically to Hollywood Studios for that. Sorry, I'm going to slide some things in and out because I'm telling you there is a lot of stuff. One of the things I was really excited about were these reusable bags. I mean, that seems so silly, but we use reusable bags here a lot. I try to be as green as I can. We shop at Aldi, if you followed any of my Aldi hauls, or we shop at Costco. And so both of those, we take reusable bags to do all of our shopping for. And so they did have a different one for each park, and I did buy them at 3 parks. I kind of regret not buying it at the 4th, but I didn't really like it, so I guess I didn't waste my money on something I didn't like. This is the medium size. I had actually bought the large size, and they gave me the wrong one, but it is what it is. It was the first one I bought, so I didn't realize that it wasn't the large until after I went to a different park and purchased a large one. I guess I just wasn't paying good enough attention, but it is really cute. All of the parks are different colors, and I did notice on the last day they actually had one at Disney Springs, so I didn't buy that one either. But at that point, all of our luggage was packed and ready to go. We went to Disney Springs on the last day and kind of hung out before we went and caught the Magical Express back to the airport. So I did not buy that one. But I did buy 3 of the bags, and I will show you them all as I get to them, but most of them are full. That one just happened to be empty sitting there. So one of the things my son got, and this I guess technically I bought in a way, we took our kids to Bippity Boppity Boutique. This trip was actually gifted to us. I'm not going to go into details on that, but we went on our last trip, and this one, we paid for that exclusively, everything. This one was gifted to us. We were very blessed to have this opportunity to go again because I didn't think that we'd be able to go anywhere in the near future. And so we used some of our personal Christmas money from my husband and I to give our kids the experience of Bippity Boppity Boutique all together, because the last time we went, we did save up for it, but my youngest was not able to participate because she was under the age of 3, and they only do Bippity Boppity Boutique for ages 3 to 12. And so this will probably be the only time they'd be able to actually do it together. So it will probably be the last time they ever do it. But I did want that opportunity for them all to be together doing it. So my son went and he became a knight. And so every time you become a knight at Bippity Boppity Boutique, they give you a sword, which is just a foam sword, and then a foam shield as well. And so that is the back of it, where the sword can slide right down in and be held there. This got a ton of play on our first, after our first trip, and so I anticipate a ton of play out of it. Again, we actually still have our last one. It's still in really good shape. Our last trip was about 2 years ago, and so I think they really do well with this, and it's very high quality, and it's bigger than the ones you can purchase. In fact, my daughter purchased one, my youngest, because we ended up with 4 shields then. 3 shields, and this would have been the 4th. And so she went ahead and purchased her own shield to have, and you can see the size difference. This is a really large shield. So my son got that at the Bippity Boppity Boutique after becoming a knight in shining armor. And my daughter did purchase this one. These ones do not have a place to put a sword down through, and the straps themselves on these ones are Velcro, where the other ones are not. And so they are slightly different. Again, this one is smaller, but my daughter also got her own sword. So we had some swords. I guess I'm kind of lying. This is the one thing I did purchase just as an outright souvenir. But we had swords on the last trip, and a friend's kiddo came over for me to babysit over this summer, and he broke the sword, so I told them I would replace it. So she did get her sword, and then she purchased her shield with her own money. So that was a cute little set. We got this this set in Epcot, if anybody is looking for this. I'm not sure that I saw swords and shields anywhere else for them, this set. I did see a few more boy type sets in Magic Kingdom over by the castle, but I didn't see the girl sets, I don't believe, there. I could be wrong. Now in Disney Springs, this would have been the other shield we got, and it is a Marvel Captain America, and it is round. Again, it is kind of about the same size as the smaller one there. And these are not Velcro. These are also sewn in, which is really nice. My son, who already had the shield from the last Bippity Boppity Boutique, saw this, and he is just beginning to get into Marvel characters, and thought it was really cool. So he purchased this, not knowing that he was going to get another one for Bippity Boppity Boutique. But that was okay with me, because they were totally different. If I thought that he wouldn't want this still, I would have tried to discourage it, but I didn't think that. So he purchased this. It was at the Marvel store in Disney Springs, so if you are looking for one of these, that's where you would find it. I'm telling you, there's just a ton of stuff. I'm going to keep bringing it. At the same store, my daughter purchased this. She saw Bubba's. This was my 3-year-old. She saw her brother's and thought it was so cool, and so she went in to buy it, but when she went in to buy it, she found this one, and I gave her the option of both, and she was insistent on getting this particular one, which I think is why she ended up buying the pink one later, because they could play outside with that. But this one is a pillow, And she is not into Marvel at all, really, but she is into playing with her brother. Those two are like two peas in a pod. My older girls play together a lot, and those two younger ones tend to play together. And so I thought this was really cute and sweet that she wanted to be just like him. And she did use it in the hotel room, laying on it, even though we had the pillows from the hotel. And she's been itching to get it out of here and go play with it. So I promised that I would do this video so she could have it and play. I'm sure her dolls will be sleeping on it at night because she is my kiddo who loves stuffed animals and baby dolls, so they sleep with everything. And now I did see these at a few different boutiques or different shops, I think, but I do believe this came from Animal Kingdom. I should have asked my daughter. I wasn't sure because she wasn't with me personally when she purchased it. We had 3 teenagers with us, and also besides my husband and I, 3 other adults with us. And so sometimes we were split up. And so if I left her gift card. And so sometimes she purchased things when I wasn't necessarily there. But she is a panda fanatic, and so she found this little panda that she just thought was the sweetest thing. And so she got this. It has a blanket that velcros and comes undone, but it is sewn on. And so it will not get lost, which I like. It can just become like a little blanket on the ground. Because as a mom of 4 kids, I guess maybe I don't need more junk around my house. And so when they, as I'm showing you all this junk, right? I know. They get these dolls and stuff that have their parts that come attached, and their parts end up everywhere, and I can't find all of the pieces to put it back together. So I love the fact that this is sewn on. So, and she actually just cleaned out her plush collection right before we left for Disney. So the older 2 girls did. So she pared down quite a bit. So I'm glad that she found something she loves to replace it, rather than just buying stuff or having stuff in her plush collection that she didn't really want. Along with those plush, I saw these at almost every park and at Disney Springs, but they weren't all at every park and Disney Springs. They had a collection of the similar plushes. And there were a few animals that we didn't get, but since I have 4 kids, they all picked a different one, and so they had quite a few. And they have these, they are different animals from the Disney movies, but they have these super long, like soft tails that they can curl up, around their base and sit on, is how they have them sitting at the stores and the kiosks. My youngest has been walking around like it's like a scarf and wrapping this thing around her, just as she carries her pet, so it's really cute. But this one is Marie, and they're a pretty decent sized plush animal here. I think these were roughly about $25. Let me see if it has, okay, yeah, here's the price tag. It was $29.99, and then if you bought 2 of them, which I had my kids buy them at the same time and just kind of pay each other for a $25 thing later, so they could use their gift card still, they were $25. They were $24.99 instead of $29.99. So those were a nice deal if you could buy 2 of them. They made them a little bit cheaper. And she has her little pink bow on the back. And that was for my oldest daughter. And then my 8-year-old, as you can see, this big long tail. Can you guess what this is? It's the Cheshire Cat. I thought this was really cute. She actually was never a huge fan of Alice in Wonderland. I don't know. And then all of a sudden the past few weeks they watched it again and she liked it. Her favorite color is purple, and I think that's why she's like attached to Cheshire Cat maybe. I don't know. She doesn't seem to be obsessed with the actual movie as much as she is with the cat. As you'll see later, she got another Cheshire Cat thing. So this is the one that she picked out. Again, big furry tails, and they are soft. They're really sweet. More. Can you guess? Can you guess? Look at the tail. It is Miko from Pocahontas. So this was the most, I don't know that it was the most boyish, but it was the most boyish one that my youngest daughter had not already picked, because she picked hers out very first. So this was the one my oldest daughter was going to get because she loves Pocahontas, and she went ahead and bought Marie so that my son could have this one. They didn't have, what I'm saying I guess is they didn't have a lot of boy options. A lot of them were like the Marie and the purples and the pink colored animals. And so my son went ahead and got this one. He does love it. He does not call him Miko. He calls him Raccoon because he can't remember his name. But he's really sweet. And again, a big long tail. So my kids really like those. My youngest daughter, who was 3, got this one, who she calls Foxy, which is Todd from Fox and the Hound. And she has been, like, dragging him everywhere. She got him on the first day, and so she drug him around the hotel room like he was a rag doll. I had to convince her not to take him into the bathroom. He does not need to go to the hotel bathroom with her. She just, like, would not get off the bed. She would not go anywhere without him. So she got this one. And I think there were a couple other animals that they had there. So they were really sweet again, though. Like I said, $29.99 for them, and they had them everywhere, but they didn't all have them. Every park and every store didn't have all of them usually. It was like they had like 3 or 4 options. And so we had to kind of mix and match. And then my daughter, we went to the youngest again, the 3-year-old. We went to Ohana for breakfast, and they all wore their Lilo and Stitch stuff. I didn't realize, I don't know that she's actually seen Lilo and Stitch this year. And since she's so young, I don't know that she remembers all of the movies. So when we got to Ohana, she like went crazy over Lilo and Stitch. Like she just thought it was the greatest thing. She loved the little maracas and the little parade that they did and all of those things. And so we bought in the, I think it's the Moana store on the top level. There's 2 of them. There's one downstairs and then there's one upstairs. And so she, on the one that's upstairs by the Ohana store, she found this and she bought it. And I just thought that was cute. Her older sisters, my older daughters, have a lot of the slightly bigger plush dolls that are all the princesses. And so she doesn't have those. My girls do. And so this was a nice little addition of her own that she can play with them. They actually play with them like they're their babies when they're playing house or whatever. So they're actually upstairs playing house now, and they said, can you hurry up so I can have this back? So I'm going to go ahead and let them have this. But yeah, we got this at Ohana. I did not see this anywhere else, but at the Polynesian Resort. So I thought that was cute. And that all came out of this big bag. Let me see if I can show you both sides. I think they're... So it has different things on it. This one is Animal Kingdom. So over here it has the Tree of Life. And they do say the parks on them. Sorry, wrong side. Over here. Oh, nope. Over here, guys. Say you're wrong side. So they have Animal Kingdom written on the side as well. So they seem to do a really good job at trying to be as green as they can be there. So I was really excited with the addition of these bags that they had rolled out. Okay. Now the things, well, I guess I got this bag and then the things are going to become smaller because I felt like that stuff took up a ton of space because it was large. My kids got bubble makers, all of them. Now, I love these. We actually got these as souvenirs 2 years ago when we went, and the kids played with them until they died. And I like them because I have young kids. My older girls can blow bubbles, but my young 2 struggle with that sometimes, and so they get frustrated with the fact the bubbles aren't blowing. My older 2 get frustrated with the fact they have to continually try to blow bubbles for the other 2, and usually that ends up with a bunch of scampering around and bubbles just being spilled and never actually used. And so these things were great when we found them 2 years ago. And so I let them go ahead and get them again because they really, I think there's only one that was even still working. Like the rest of them died. They used them that much. Which, side note, they told me when I purchased these ones, if I would have brought those ones back, they'd have gave me new ones. I don't know if that's true, but if you want to try it, go to town. We live in Pennsylvania, and Florida is really far away, so I wasn't flying home to get them. But if you live locally or you're going soon, might be a thought if you have one that has broken. So this one is the one my 8-year-old chose, and it reminded her for some reason, I guess maybe because of the purple scales on the bottom and this, of a mermaid. But really, it was the Pandora one. And I like the idea that they all picked different ones because, again, it's easier than trying to label them, and there's no arguing. You use your own and not somebody else's because you're going to break it, and if you break it, then you don't get one anymore. So it was helpful that they all picked a separate one. So I'm glad she liked that, and it reminded her of a mermaid because I don't know that she really was into Pandora per se, but it was a different one because they didn't have, they had 5 options. So with only 4 kids, that kind of limits who can get what. So my next one was my 10-year-old had picked out this one, which I thought was just adorable. And they do have a switch on them. Let me see if I can find where it's on hers. I don't see it. They each have a switch, though, that turns it on for bubbles and music, or bubbles and lights, or the other way just turns on lights. And so they played with these at night at the park. Each of them got it, I think, a different night. And so they were able actually to all kind of play with them. One could be blowing bubbles and the rest of them could be smashing the bubbles. So that was kind of nice. But my oldest picked that one out. And then my son picked this one out, which is the Buzz Lightyear. He had first bought the bubble, they had a totally different thing. It wasn't the same type of bubble maker. It was like a bubble gun that you kind of like held on your wrist. It was Iron Man and blew out bubbles. The first one they bought didn't work, like for more than 2 minutes. Like they turned it on and then it stopped working, and we thought the bubbles ran out, but it wasn't that, because the lights weren't working. And so we took it back in and they replaced it, and we took it out, and that one wouldn't work at all. And I said, buddy, you're just going to have to get the ones you got last time because these aren't working, and I'm not going to take it home and it not work in 2 minutes. So he went and picked this one out, and he had a ball. He ran around holding it by the arms, his handles, and shooting the bubbles at his sisters. They had a good old time. So it was really cute. And you can see I don't know where it was on the last one, but you can see right here is the little switch that just turns them on and off. So they're able to turn them on and off themselves very easily. It's not something I have to participate at all in. His twists off at the stomach area, like this whole part here twists. The rest of them, they all have this little ball down here, that you could actually, like you can see there, and you just twist it on and off, and you fill this with bubbles, and then it goes up through the top. So they're really easy to refill as well. My older girls can do it on their own, or I can do it pretty quickly and efficiently. So this one was my youngest daughter's, and I thought it was way cuter than the other one they had, which is actually the one my son had last time, and it was just red here. And instead of being like a clear crystal-like up here, it was white. And so, I mean, it was okay, but I thought this one was cuter, and she was the last one to get to pick one out, and so this is the one we went ahead and picked out for her. So she had a lot of fun with that. Now, the rest of the things are in this big bag here. Well, I shouldn't say the rest of the things. Most of the rest of the things are in this big old bag here. And let you see the other side. And this stuff is all, not all the stuff is from, but the bag is from Epcot. So this bag is from Epcot. The bubble makers, by the way, were everywhere. They were at every park, and some of them were in the stores. We bought some of them in stores, some of them in the little kiosks, and if one little place was out of them, another place had them. Like, everywhere had them. You didn't have to worry about it. So this was not something that was necessarily purchased, but we were on the dining plan. And I don't see my son's sword. But we were on the dining plan, and we went to Cinderella's royal table this time. And so they were all given one of these little wands. You can see it says Cinderella's royal table on there. And so that was just a neat little freebie that they all got to bring home. I think a few of them stole theirs. I wanted to make sure I had one to show you. My son did not get a wand. He did get a small sword. It was like a hard plastic, though. Daddy might have already stole that because he was beating his sisters with it. I don't know. We let him play with the foam swords. It's better anyway. So, but it was something, just a little thing that they gave them to be there, which I thought was kind of cute. If anybody was looking for a review, we like that restaurant a lot, the food-wise. Service, not so much. I wasn't like real fond of the service. So what did you guys, have you guys eaten there? What do you guys think? I was a little disappointed at, like, in Disney service there. Oh no, it's like a little bit bent. Don't bend my ears. So we, like I said, we made a trip to Disney before. And I did not know at the time if it would be our only trip as a family there. I had been there personally before as not a young child, but as like a junior high student. And then I also went with my high school. And so I was there then as well. And my husband had never been there prior to our last visit. And so we did not do all the Disney stuff, I guess, that people do when they go regularly. Things like ears and pins and all those types of things. We didn't participate in those types of things. We just went and we had a great time. And so this time we decided, since it's our second trip and my husband and I would really like to try and save for a third trip in the future sometime, that we would go ahead and participate in some of those fun things. And so my girls, knowing whether they could wear them again or not at the time, had purchased their own ears. And so my 8-year-old picked out these ones, and you can see it has like a giraffe print. That is the current print at Animal Kingdom, and so that is where she purchased these, I do believe. She had a lot of difficulty deciding on one pair of ears, so I'm surprised she only came home with one, because she was told she could buy whatever she wanted with her own gift card, but this is the only one she bought. And she got them in Animal Kingdom. They do not currently have like a zebra print or anything else. They just have the giraffe print. And so that is the print right now. And she absolutely loved them. Definitely fit her personality. She wore them a decent bit, but she complained that they like squeezed her head, so she didn't wear them as much. My older daughter, on the other hand, wore hers a lot, as much as we didn't have something set up to wear for her hair with the matching outfit she was wearing. And she bought the treat ones. And so you can see this is like the Mickey bar with an ear, like the bite taken out of it as an ear. And so those ones were really sweet. That was something new with the treat line that came out this year. And so she wore hers quite a bit, and I could foresee her wearing these. We do like Bible school where they do a crazy hat day and stuff. I could foresee these being used for that, and hopefully then in the future for Mickey, future Disney trips. And myself, I debated all week, almost, I felt like anyway. I guess it wasn't all week. I debated back and forth for several days on whether to get them. When I was set on going, I was set that one of the things I was going to purchase for myself this time was Mickey ears. And I knew that immediately that I wanted the rose gold ones. And so when we got there, I had tried them on in Disney Springs, and I just wasn't certain that I would wear them enough. And so I went back and forth, and every time we walked in a store, I looked at them, and finally I decided that if I was going to like them that much, even if it was only for this week, that I was going to get them. Again, I think I will wear mine because I lead at Bible school and participate in all the fun things that they do, like Crazy Hat Day, as well as going back on another Disney trip. So I went ahead and I purchased myself the rose gold ears. And I love them. I did. I wore them all week. I was that crazy adult walking around with Mickey ears on. Minnie ears, I guess, with your bow. But, you know. And so I'm going to leave them on while I do the rest of this filming because I can. And I'm going to pull some of this stuff out of this large bag because it's like weighing down. It's very heavy to hold. There's a lot more still. Okay, so I mentioned that we went to Bippity Boppity Boutique, and so these bags, these drawstring bags, are something that my daughters got, which I thought were really cute. They actually got these on their last trip, and I forgot all about them. They were hung up in their closet, and I wish I would have taken them so they could use them, but I anticipate these being used quite a bit now. Just like for when they go to their grandparents' house, or if they're going in the car and want to take like a book or something. So each of them got that. Now, when you do Bippity Boppity Boutique, quite often they do, not only do they do your hair, but they do your nails and your makeup. Now, we don't, I did allow them to do their nails there, although we don't typically do nails. I don't like the whole toxins in your bloodstream type of thing. So we kind of avoid that thing unless we do piggy polish. But the makeup, not that I would want to do again for the same reasons. The makeup last time we were there actually had like an effect, an allergic reaction on my daughter, and so we just opted not to do it. And all I had to do was tell them that we had an allergic reaction last time. We'd love to still participate in everything else, but we didn't want the makeup. They did still send the makeup home, so we can actually, I think we only ended up coming home with 1 or 2 of them, but I am going to go ahead and give those to my little sister who likes to do that thing and who is allowed to. But they do send that bag home, and then they send any extra nail polish, makeup, face jewels, any of the things that they used on your child, they send home with you so that you can continue to use it. So again, a nice little thing. They got to come home with the little hair extensions and things that they put on them, like the little crown and whatnot. So they will have all of those. Another thing that we got, and I'm gonna let's see, one of these doesn't have their name on. A few of them have their name on. I prefer not to share that. This one's a little weirded out. You can't see most of it. And this was just a little kid cot. If you are going to Epcot, this is a really cute little thing for your kids to do. Each of my kids got one. This is like a little suitcase, and you can see they like glue these on, and they go around the countries, and each country they get a card that tells some facts on it, and then they also get a picture on the back they can color. Now, there are stations there they can color. We opted to bring these all home, and we're going to work on them through the homeschool week this week, with being home, just kind of settling back into things. So we did not stop and color them there. If you only have 2 kids and maybe you're, making it through every country with time, we had 7 kids. If I would have taken the time for my 4 and the 5th, my sister who was collecting them too, to sit and color them, we'd have been in every country forever, especially with my 3-year-old. So we just collected them all and brought them home, which was just like then a little neat souvenir for them to bring home and still participate with. So it was a nice way to incorporate. They have a lot of learning opportunities in Epcot, but it got them more interested in it. They were looking where to find those things in every place, and most of them were in like a little store in one of like the souvenir shops in each country's pavilion. So and then my daughter found this. She's been wanting a purse, and she kept looking at, a wallet. She's been looking at the Loungefly wallets at Disney, and she's 10. She doesn't need to spend the money on a Loungefly wallet, but she wanted something else other than what she has to keep her little money in. And so she found this. It's just a little zipper purse, and it was in the China pavilion out front at the little shop, and it was just, I think it was, $4, $3.99. There. I actually got one of these on our last trip just to keep my change in my extra purse, because I have 2 purses I swap between sometimes. And this part right here, that's like this little emblem, it fell off very easily. And so I told her that it probably would fall off easily. They're $4. They're not made to stay forever. And she was fine with that. I think it's actually, yeah, you can see kind of here. It's just hot glued on, that part. So if you're looking for something just cheap and cute, this fit the bill for her. And so she's just going to keep her money in there in her purse when she takes it out. She doesn't do that very often. So she bought that herself, though, and she was super excited about it. My favorite thing I bought on my entire trip was in Epcot. And I think it was the only, clothing purchase we had. But it was this Alice in Wonderland shirt. And it's just a tank, and it says, I'm crazy, so that's perfect. So I got that for myself. Sorry, guys, my battery died, but I wanted to go ahead and collect some more things to show you. Anyway, this is going to be titled something like, we bought all the things at Disney, because we bought a lot of stuff. So the next thing I bought, and I bought this at Disney Springs, but I definitely saw it at some other places, and it was only $9.99, $9.95. I saw this in a friend's video, before we went, and so I was set on getting it then. It's just this little coffee scoop. I'm not certain I'm actually going to use it for coffee right now, but I keep a very large container in the basement of baking soda for cleaning and for cooking, and I refill my containers upstairs in my cooking and cleaning areas out of that, because we buy the really big bags at Costco. And so I wanted to use something to use to refill those canning jars I keep of baking soda. And so I thought that was cute, and it has the little Disney thing on the back. if you're going to use Disney, I guess use something that's useful, right? The next thing I bought also for my kitchen are these little ice cube trays. They had a few different kinds. I like the size of this one the best. Now that we're home, I can take that off. I think these were, yes, $9.99 also. And that gives you an idea. I don't actually use these for ice cubes. My kids and I like to make homemade candies. And so I thought these would be really cute. With Easter coming up, we could go ahead and make some candies for each other in here. And so I bought 2 of those. Sounds like the kids are being rowdy. I apologize. And while I was digging through, pulling some stuff out for you guys, I found my son's sword. So this was the little sword that he got at the Cinderella's royal table. And you can see on there also it has the initials of it. He liked it because it was kind of like a little Peter Pan sword he could put in his side, opposed to like the really big swords he had otherwise. So that may or may not stay though, because like I said, well, I guess it's not, it is a little more flimsy, but it is hard. It hurts if he hits the girls. I'd like to think he wouldn't, but you know. So the other thing I got, they got were these. Actually, their grandparents bought these. It's the one thing that they bought for all of the kids to share. And so you take off these 2 black pieces here, and this piece here that has like the fringe at the end and is with red and black here. You like toss them back and forth. Their aunt has a pair. My sister-in-law, and they love to play with them when they go over to my in-laws' house. And so when they saw these, they wanted them, and everybody wanted a set, and we just didn't feel like it was necessary to have that many sets around the house. And so, especially because I don't think the younger 2 will really get it yet. My 8-year-old actually is pretty good with these, and my 10-year-old is trying to do very well with them, so I think with some practice she would do good with them too. But so the grandparents went ahead and bought them a single set to share. And they got these, I believe, also at the China Pavilion. Definitely in Epcot. I'm not 100% sure if it was the China Pavilion, but I think it was. So, oh, there's so much stuff. My husband picked up this dad hat, which I thought was really cool. And it does have a like a Velcro back, I guess. He doesn't typically wear those. He prefers fitted hats, but everything I noticed in Disney is everything is either like a snapback type hat or like this Velcro. There are no fitted hats. So he said he would wear the Velcro. He just didn't want a snapback. So we picked him up this one, and he's very eager to wear it. He wears hats every day, like all the time, so. My 8-year-old picked out this, and it's just a cute little, or sorry, not my 8-year-old, my 10-year-old picked out this. It's a cute little keychain. She had like a foam one from our last trip that she had purchased, and she put it on her dance bag, and her little sister actually just broke it off like 2 weeks ago. And so she was going to buy the same one. They actually had something, not the exact same, but something similar. They had those foam ones there still, and I encouraged her to go ahead and buy a real one for a couple more dollars. I think it'll be a little more difficult for her sister to break it, although hopefully her sister will just keep her hands off. So she did get that. And then they each bought, I guess the intention was to use it, they said, in their diaries, but they bought these before they bought their diaries, these cute little pens. And I believe these were like $7.99 maybe, and they just have the different princesses on them. And they're clipped top here with this little cute little crown. So obviously just push this out, and they can use those to write. So they each got one of those as well. So the next thing we all got was a Christmas ornament. They each pick one out, and then we pick one out as a family that go on our tree for the years that we go. Kind of just in remembering the trip and seeing what our kids were at that point, and the things they liked and how it changed. And so this year, my youngest, we had picked her Tinkerbell on her first trip, and she picked out Cinderella on this trip, which was super cute. She picked out a couple and couldn't decide, but this is what she finally decided on. And we got these all at the Christmas store at Disney Springs. So my son, who I think he actually picked out a Mickey and Pluto last time. picked out this cool little Mickey with like the ears. They had different Disney princesses too that had like different ears, but they weren't the actual princess. Like they were just their colors and designs. So I thought that was kind of cool. I thought my girls were going to pick those and they didn't, but my son did see this and like fell in love with it. Pluto is his favorite. It's still his favorite, was his favorite when he went last time. And so he picked this one out. My 8-year-old, who her favorite is Rapunzel, and so she purchased a Rapunzel one similar to the Cinderella on our last trip. She has watched Mary Poppins since and has really liked it, and so she wanted to pick out something different, and she got this cute little Mary Poppins one, and this one was $21.99, as was the Princess one. Pluto's was $24.99, so it was slightly different, and he has this little tail, by the way, which I thought was really cute. And then my oldest, my 10-year-old, she, her favorite is Aurora, so last time they went, they all picked out their favorite princess one, but she has become very fond of Alice. She kind of looks like Alice with her long blonde hair, and so she picked out this little Alice, like, falling down the rabbit hole with her dress up, and I thought that was super cute. And so that one was $21.99 also, and so they all picked that out, and we will hang them on the Christmas tree this year. But then my husband and I pick out one that's kind of like a family one. We pick out Christmas ornaments every year. Just in general, we go and get one made for the family and for the kids, and once they move out someday, they'll be able to take those with them, their own individual ones, but I still would like to have some personally for our own memories, and so we always try and pick one out. We just, I guess, share one as a family that'll stay here. And so we got this really cool blown glass. It has the castle inside. We compromised. This wasn't the one that I wanted my favorite, and it wasn't the one he wanted his favorite, but it was the one we both liked, and so that we went ahead and compromised and got this. I like the little snowflakes on there. And this one was $27.99. Now, this one doesn't have the date on it. The last time we went, we got one with the date. From what I understand, you could personalize them, but we were, I don't want to say we were in a hurry, but we had a few things we wanted to do in Disney Springs before we had to catch the Magical Express to leave. And so I just got it like this, and I'm just going to take the bottom here and use my labeler and put the year on it, or just maybe even write it in Sharpie. So it's a solid bottom you can do that with. So I thought that was cute. And a lot of the stuff that is left is glass. I put it all on when my battery died in one place so that hopefully I wouldn't break anything. The next thing we all got, and I joked that we were probably the only parents taking their kids to Disney to buy shot glasses, but we all picked out a shot glass. If you follow me regularly, you know that we do things like Ningsa, Young Living. We also do elderberry syrup, and we do shots of vitamin C, and right now I try to put those either in like the old style, like the old medicine cups that we had from like when we did do conventional medicines like Advil and stuff, the kids' liquid Advil, or I'm trying to put them in the, if we run out, which we do frequently because we don't have very many of those, in like the bottom of a cup, and it's just, it makes it a mess. It's a hard thing to do for the kids sometimes, and so I thought that it would be cute for us all to have our own little shot glass that we could just line up on the one little cupboard that we have out there, and we could do our shots of things whenever they come up. So we all picked out a different one. They don't have a ton of options. I think we literally bought all of the options they had aside from a 4-pack. They had like a 4-pack in a set that had like, I want to say like kind of the bottom half of like Daisy, Donald, Mickey, and Minnie or something like that. Or maybe it was Goofy and Pluto, not Goofy, Pluto, Donald, and Mickey. And so it was like kind of like their shorts area, like it just gave the colors. It gave you the concept of what it was without their head. But those just weren't for us. So we all picked out other ones. These were most of the ones we found. I did find a few that were like resort or park specific, but none of us fell in love with any of those. So this is what we got. So my husband got a Pirates of the Caribbean. He really liked that ride. He doesn't ride a ton, but there's enough slow, like, boat type rides there, I guess, that he does ride those with the kids. And so he found this one, and it was $9.95. Now it is bigger than the rest of the shot glasses, as I'll show you mine next. This is the one I picked up, and it has Mickey, and it's just gray, and on the back it says the mouse is in the house. And so you can see the considerable size difference. It's much, much bigger. My husband's. And his says, "Dead men tell no lies." So it's kind of... so we each got one of those, and then the kids did get their own. So my 10-year-old, like I mentioned, is a fan of Alice. And curiouser and curiouser, she got this cute little Alice one, and that was perfect for her. She picked hers out on the first day. She knew exactly what she wanted. And I have not taken off, I have not washed these or taken off the things yet, except for mine, because I did use it. So this is kind of covering it, but it says, "We're all mad here." So that was perfect for her. My youngest daughter also found one that was absolutely perfect for her, and it was Tinkerbell. Her room is Tinkerbell. She has a lot of Tinkerbell things, and it says, "Bad attitude," which I love all of my kids, and I think they're wonderful, but she's the one that has the trying attitude of them all, so that was kind of appropriate for her. So those were perfect. The other two, I want to say, kind of settled for theirs. So if we find something in the future, on a future trip, they may replace theirs. These two, I think, will keep theirs probably forever, but they were good for now. And they thought they were cute. So my son's was Donald Duck, and it says, "The feathers are flying," which with him, the feathers are always flying. He's a wild man. So that one was cute. And my daughter's as well is a little bit bigger. It's more similar to the size of my husband's, which I guess technically would have been more appropriate for me, but she really likes the Minnie Mouse opposed to the Mickey Mouse. And so it has her bow on it with the little polka dots. And so that was for my 8-year-old. And so they all got theirs. They were all, I think all of them. Yeah, it's my husband's. They were all $9.95 or $9.99. I don't know why they do different prices like that. They don't just make them all $9.99, but it is what it is. And so my husband got his at the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. The rest of them all were in several places. I think most of us ended up getting them either in the Emporium in Disney, like on the main Disney strip, or in Disney Springs. But I saw them tons of places if you're looking for those. They were just about everywhere. Again, the Pirates of the Caribbean, though, that one was specific to the ride. I would think it was in the store coming off the ride. And then the other thing we all got was a mug. My kids have become really into hot chocolate, and so we decided to have everybody having their own mugs. We had a couple that we had kind of like before we got married, and then we had the set that came with our dishes, but that was it. Like nothing, we had nothing like special, and so I thought it would be cool if they all had their own mug for when we do hot chocolate days. And so again, I'll start with my husband's, and his mug again is the biggest, but he found this one at Animal Kingdom, and I thought the detailing was just amazing. And it's kind of like the concept of the Tree of Life. You can see it all, even on the handle here. I'll show you. It's like a really big mug. And the price on there is $22.99. Now, I don't know if it says the size on it or not. Maybe under there. I don't know. But here is kind of their average mug, and I will show you this one next. But it just, you can see, again, the size difference. Like this is a really big mug. You could easily fit 2 cups of coffee in here. And so he got this one. And again, that one was at Animal Kingdom specific. I did not see that anywhere else. Now my daughter, the one I was showing you, the Cheshire Cat I mentioned earlier, it may have been in part 1 because I may have to put this up in 2 parts, that she liked the Cheshire Cat, and she found this. We bought it at, we bought this at Epcot, but again, I saw this at several places. I hadn't seen it until we went to Epcot, and so she grabbed it there, but as I noticed and I started paying attention better, I did see it at a lot of stores as we went throughout the parks and at Disney Springs later that week. So she got this one, and then my son got the similar style. These ones were, hers was $13.99. And then my son got this one, which is about the same size, and it has Simba on it. And it says, there's a lot of like writing diagonally, brave, curious, hero, adventurer, like different words on it. And then it has like an orange inside. And his was $16.99. So there's that one. And then my Alice fan, my 10-year-old, she had found this one, which I thought was really sweet. And it was $19.99. And again, I saw this at several places, but I hadn't noticed it until maybe Epcot also. But I did see it a lot of places afterwards. And it is, it says, Mad as a Hatter and Drink Me, like the little tag on the bottle, and 10/6. And so it's like on this little, this is attached, it's not like a teacup, but it is a teacup, you know. So I thought that was cute. And that, again, that was $19.99. We saw that at a lot of places. I think except for my husband's, because he's picky, I guess. The rest of ours we saw at a ton of places. They were easily accessible. So my youngest got this cute little Tinkerbell mug. She is only 4, and so I was really concerned about her having like a big mug to kind of hold on to. And so these were the smaller of the mugs, so I thought that was cute. Be easier for her to hold as she, you know, as her hands are growing still, because her hands are really tiny still. So, and this Tinkerbell right here is like 3-dimensional, or, you know, she comes up. These ones are all flat. So I thought that was cute. And they have all the different tinks on there. And it's green on the inside, which was cute. And this one also is $16.99. Now, I don't, we don't have a microwave at all, so I never worry about microwave safe, and I hand wash most of mine. But this one, I notice, is, it does say dishwasher safe on the bottom. So does that one. I'm assuming this one does too. This one does too. I don't know that my husband's would be dishwasher safe, though. Yeah, it's covered up by that thing. This one is dishwasher safe also, though. So these all say microwave and dishwasher safe, too, if you're wondering about that for an upcoming trip. Like, if you're making, I went through, like, recent videos, but it was hard because 2019 just started and people didn't have much up. So if you're looking to kind of make a... Okay, so this is the one I got for me, and they have the new treat line. And so I couldn't find one I loved, except for I loved the colors of this one. I wasn't a fan of the huge treat line overall, maybe because we don't eat a lot of those types of foods, but I thought this was really pretty. And so I thought it was cute. That was the one I decided on getting, and I like the tall, like, latte type cups for my coffee. So it says Castle Mickey Souvenirs, Mickey Waffles, It's a Small World, which I love, Best Day Ever, yes, Splash Mountain, pretzels, Haunted Mansion, turkey legs, Mad Tea Party, churros, and definitely for me, fireworks. So I thought that was cute. It is, again, like the tall latte type. And it does, again, it says hand wash only on the bottom. But mine was only $13.99. So you can see my husband's the expensive one. I'm just kidding. I definitely got more stuff than he did. He didn't buy much. So, and then the last thing that I have, and I am going to show you the individual ones, that are pins. I did not go with the anticipation of being into pin trading at all myself. I thought my kids might like it. I wasn't sure, and so I bought them some pins on eBay, just like random lots, to go ahead and do some trading with. We got there, and everybody wanted to do the pin thing. Like, they all bought pins. Even my sisters and stuff, who I don't know if they will ever have the opportunity to go back. I hope they will, or at least as adults maybe. But they even love the pins, as far as having pins on, like, they put them on their bags and stuff. So it was really neat. We really all got into the pin thing. I was the only one in my immediate family who did not take a lanyard, and I will definitely be collecting pins in the future. And so I have a bunch of pins here. I'm just going to show you all of them. Some of them I found in multiple places. Some of them I only found in 1 or 2 places. But there are a lot. So the first thing my daughter got, and it was this little mystery bag. And it was only $6.99, unlike the other ones. And you can see they have, like, different ones on the back. And she got this little one here. Sorry. And so she got the Seven Dwarfs one. There's a Stitch, Baymax, Ursula, Marie from Aristocats, and Donald Duck. And it's like a backpack. Sorry, those are kind of hard to see. with the character on the front. So she picked that one out. Now the rest of them, that was the only grab bag. Everybody else, when they bought one, they just bought it. So I'm just going to go through and show you some of the ones we got. So this is Mary Poppins. I'm just going to go through and just hold them up for you guys to see. You can obviously see the characters. This one is a Disney collection. There were some Disney collection ones on these white backs. I picked up this one for my husband, which I thought was really cool. He has like a grumpy shirt and stuff, so I thought that was neat. I'm telling you, there's a lot. But there's 6 of us. And this one was really sweet. My 10-year-old turned 10 on our trip, and it was on the last day. It was the day we were leaving. I don't like to go like over a birthday because I don't feel like we'll be able to do that for everybody. And so it just happened to fall that it was going to fall either the trip was going to begin on her birthday or end on her birthday, and so we ended on her birthday. And my 8-year-old all week searched for a pin to buy her with her own souvenir money as a gift for her to give it to her on her actual birthday, since she wasn't like celebrating per se. We did go to Erin McKenna and get some cookies, but so I thought that was sweet. So she bought her that one. I'll let you guess who most of these are for. There are so many. I also got this one for my husband. We used to watch that show when we were little, so we think that's cool because we're old. And that it's coming back, like. And so most of these, the ones that are for my kids, they like bought themselves. This one, this was actually off the card because my daughter bought it and she put it right on her lanyard, but I had her bring it down so I could show you guys. This is what got me stuck. There was a couple that I just loved, and this was one of them. I might get the locking backs and just keep mine on like my purse or something too, though, so I can display them. Which my little sister did that. She bought some locking backs and put them on like her fanny pack type thing that she carries, which I thought was cute. There's this one, and it actually opens, and it shows Walt on the inside there. And it says, it's kind of fun to do the impossible. It is, isn't it? It's kind of fun to do the impossible. This is for me, again. Practically perfect in every way. This collection was really cute. I liked them all. So cute, but a lot of trouble. And I thought I saw one more that I didn't open. Oh, here it is. Sorry, my table was covered in stuff now. Let's see if it'll focus a little bit. There we go. And it says, it was all started with, and we all know the end of that, right? I might open it up to show you guys, though. And so it shows you the pictures. It's kind of like a locket type thing, which is really cute. My daughter picked that out. So that is everything. I was not joking when I said it was a lot of stuff. So you may see this in 2 parts. So if it's not all together and you didn't see me like introducing myself, go search for the other part. There's another part with more things. So I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff all put away so my kids can have it. They've been dying to get all of their stuff, and so I promised them I would try and get this video done as soon as possible so they could have it. Keep an eye out for more videos. I do have some Disney videos if you are finding me for the first time for that. Go ahead, feel free to click that subscribe button and join our group here. I would love to have you guys around. I'm a mama of 4 kids, and I homeschool, and I run my own eBay shop, and so I do all kinds of mommy things. So hang out for new videos. We'll see you soon. Bye.